Good day, everyone. Our topic for today is procedures for declaring goods, informal and formal. Now sit back and relax, listen, because we will feed you a lot of information about this topic. Now let's proceed to our first slide.
Formal entry and informal entry. Formal entry is for commercial shipments valued at 50,000 pesos or more, requiring full documentation and broker assistance, while informal entry is for shipments under 50,000 pesos, personal effects or low-value items, offering a faster, simpler clearance process. So, ang formal entry is gamiton siya for commercial or business shipments na naay value of 50,000 pesos or more. And usually sa formal entry is mas need sila og daghan na papers and dili dali or dili paspas ang ilahang process adto, and mag-need sila og broker assistance or the customs broker assistance, while sa informal entry is gamiton siya for shipments na naay value of 50,000 pesos or less, or mga personal belongings and low value items. And sa informal entry is gamay ra na paperwork ang ilang needed, and mas paspas or mas dali ang ilang process compared sa formal entry. Goods declaration for consumption. This means that you are declaring imported items to customs so they can be legally brought in, used, or sold here. So there are 4 main steps. First is the lodgement. Submit all required documents and details about your goods to customs. Next is assessment. Customs checks your papers, calculates taxes, duties, and fees you need to pay. Next is clearance. Once everything is correct and paid, customs approves your shipment. Next is release of goods. You cannot take or receive your items. So there are 2 ways to do this. First is the formal entry. This is for high value or commercial shipments. And next is the informal entry. This is for low value or personal items. Goods entered for consumption through formal entry. First is commercial goods worth 50,000 pesos or more. Business items, selling goods value of 50,000 and up. Government shipments, anything imported by the government. Third is special big items owned by qualified people. Cars, boats, planes. 4 is irregular commercial imports. 5 is small value goods that went over the limit twice. 6. Mail courier shipments over 50,000 pesos. Packages via post or express delivery more than 50,000. Motor vehicles, motorcycles, or scooters. 8 is vehicles bought locally but previously tax-free. 9. Goods moved out of free zones. Items taken from special free trade zones to sell use in the country. 10 is ships or aircraft, boats and planes except those brought by eligible people. Documents required. These are all papers or documents you need when doing formal entry for high value or business imports, plus why they matter. The required documents are: first is a printed copy of SAD, main customs form you fill out and submit. Next is a revised supplemental declaration on valuation or SDV, extra paper to explain and prove the real value of your goods. Next is bill of lading, carry bill or delivery order, proof that the goods were shipped and you are the owner or receiver. Next is the commercial invoice or proof of payment, official receipt showing price, amount, and what you paid. Next is packing list, list of every item inside the package or shipment, details of what's inside. Next is the extra requirements or if needed, the import permits and clearances, certificate of origin, advance ruling, LDS DPS report, TEI, papers to prove transaction value. Other supporting papers or may be asked. First is a proof of payment, sales contract, purchase order or agreement, quotation, or pro forma invoice, or any other paper that shows the real price and deal between buyer and seller. So why these papers are important? It is important because they let the customs check the real value of goods, calculate correct tax or duty you must pay, follow laws and rules, confirm you truly own the goods, and know exactly what's inside so they classify and inspect correctly. General checklist. This is the step-by-step list you or the broker must follow for formal entry. First is prepare all needed papers. Gather every required document following customs rules. Next is classify goods and calculate taxes. Decide what category or your items belong to. Figure out how much tax or duty you need to pay. Do this online via the E2M system using an authorized service provider. Then print the main form or the stamp. Next is upload files online. Send the SAD and all supporting papers to the customs website or portal. Number 4, submit physical copies. Bring or send the printed original papers to the customs within 3 days after you submitted online. Process flow. Step-by-step online process to file your import papers. First is log into the client.customs.gov.ph, then choose open a ticket. Next is pick filing of goods declaration. Third is fill in details, read and agree to the rules or terms. Next is enter these details, the GD number, importer name, declarant or the broker name. Next is click choose item to upload your files. Next is fill in all required fields marked by asterisk. Next is click submit, create ticket to save your request. Next is upload your documents as PDF files, each under 16 MB. Next is sign, submit a written commitment, paper saying all info is true. Next is all files must be real or true copies. Lying or faking is fraud and you will be punished. Next is send or submit the original printed papers to customs within 3 days inside a properly labeled envelope. Next is if you don't follow rules, your permit or accreditation will be suspended or cancelled.
Okay, next is process flow o OCOM Memo 61 to 2020. Procedures by customs officers. A1.1 Ticket auto-rotate to Fourth and Assessment Division based on input. A1.2 If evaluator reviews completeness of uploaded documents. A1.3 If incomplete, evaluator notifies user via message thread. A1.4 If complete encode and GDVS and wrote to examiner and appraiser. A1.5 Examiner reviews if in order, wrote to appraiser, notify user if with findings. A1.6 Appraiser reviews if in order, wrote to E2M trigger officer, notify user if with findings. A.1.7 If hard copies receive, wrote to evaluating officer, verify uploaded versus original, report discrepancy, if okay, wrote to E2M officer. A.1.8 E2M officer input assessment and details into the system. A1.9 Update system and generate electronic examination return or PDF attached to ticket as official record. A1.10 If alert order or physical exam, wrote to duty examiner. A1.11 Duty examiners conducts inspection, inform user of findings or recommended WSD if needed. If okay, follow steps 5 to 8. E212 E1.12 Route ticket to other units if clearance are required. Next is Release of goods. 1. FCL. A. Get delivery order from shipping lines. B. P. Arrastre and wharfage fees. C. Book container via tabs o MICP POM. D. Present gate pass to wharfinger for signature o POM only. Second, FCL and air shipments. A. Present DOORO from freight forwarder for LCL. B. P. Storage charges. C. Proceed to wharfingers office for final release. Next is lodgement and filing of PGD, or Provisional Goods Declaration, o PGD, Section 403 CMTE CMO 7 2020. Lodgement of PGD may be allowed in the following circumstances. First is no regulatory permit, clearance, license presented, but application filed per agency policy. Submit within required period if obtainable post-arrival. Second, TEI or DOF or ATRIG or BIR, not issued but application filed. 3. Lock and fold documents not due to fault and mandatory details present. Lodgement and filing of PGD. First is use code 4PG4 in box 1. Second, in code 4400 and box 37A and additional code in 37B. Third, complete details as in regular GD. Fourth, file with IPO within 48 hours. 5. Submit requirements. A. BL o airway bill. B. Invoice. C. Fucking less. B. Annex B. D. Annex B. A. Application copy. F. Provisional docs. G. Annex C. Undertaking. Next, responsible officers. Responsibility of IPO. First, receive PGD and supporting documents. B. Control number and SED number on Annex B. Format. For example, given is 19-00001. Third is process PGD for GDBS rule. Fourth, forward documents to COO4 o FDE chip. Responsibility of COO4. First, if additional docs needed, set status to COO4 in process and input remarks. Second is review findings and recommendations for regulated shipments. Third, verify computation of duties and taxes for tentative release. Fourth, evaluate security amount required for non-compliance. Fifth, if Concord endorsed to district or subport collector for approval. Next, responsibility of FED chief or deputy collector. Review and endorse recommendation to district collector if Concord. Responsibility of district or subport collector. First is approve or adjust submission period. Second, approve or disapprove tentative release. Third, approve or disapprove WSD recommendation. Fourth, approve processing if documents are already available. Responsibility of COO3. Evaluate documents for regulated shipments. A. Ensures application for permit is attached. B. Do not process. Recommend WSD if permit required pre-departure arrival is missing. C. Ensure submission period in undertaking complies with agency rules. D. Hold processing until docs submitted. Recommended WSD if submitted. E. Recommended WSD and change code to 4402 if required pre-arrival docs not submitted. Second is hold processing if a trig is missing. Third, process as regular GDF in order. Fourth, compute duties, taxes, calculate security amount if needed. Fifth, update GDVS and forward to COO B for approval. 6. Process as regular GD once docs submitted, update system and forward to COO 4. Next, release under tentative and regulated goods. Release under tentative assessment. First, change procedure code in box 37A upon receipt of approved request. Second, required posting of security. Update E2M with approval details and bound information. Third, update GDVS status and forward documents to COO4. Fourth is assess duties and taxes, issue payment instructions to AAB. Fifth, update status and GDVS to ASID. Release of regulated goods under PGD. First, COO3 should change procedure code in 37A upon approval. Second, process as regular GD and update E2M inspection Act. Third is COO3 shall update GDVS status and forward documents to COO4. Fourth, assess duties and taxes, issue payment instruction to AEB. Fifth, update status and GDVS to ASID. Next is general provisions. First, update issue summary with GD number before assignment. Second, after assessment, transfer ticket to LBD instead of closing. Third, pre-require cities from PMS. First, process, and finally, assess in E2M. B. GTs paid and goods release. C. Notice issue within 15 days from payment. D. Deficiency amount matches final demand. E. Importer agrees to settle. 4. Exempt from 15-day review. A. Protests or disputes. B. Statement of errors. C. PCAG audits. Fifth, LBD granted access to CCPS from documents retrieval. 6 is submit original documents to CCC within 48 hours. 7. Transmit hard copies to Assessment Division within 24 hours. 8. Upon receipt. 8.1. COO3 accomplishes report and signs. 8.2. COO4 reviews and signs. 8.3. Forward to LBD. Complete within 48 hours.
Alright everyone, let's go through the slides, which is good entered for consumption through informal entry process. This lists all types of goods that qualify for simpler, faster customs process instead of the long-term entry process. So first is commercial goods. So commercial goods is if their value is less than 50,000. Then second, personal or household items. So mao ni sila as long as they're not in commercial quantity or meant for business resale. And next is the section 800 of CMTA covers conditionally taxed, duty-free imports. So returning residents and OFW personal belongings, balikbayan boxes, travelers' personal effects, item brought by foreign government consultants and staff. And next is tools and effects of settlers or professionals, goods for diplomatic or embassy use, human remains and personal effects of the deceased if value is below 150,000 pesos. Items belong to the FA personnel. Then we have diplomatic supplies sold out to regular buyers, goods from BIMP EAGA registered enterprises, products coming from PISA zones going to the local market, items brought and under the Balik Scientist Program. All other imports covered under Section 800 of CMTA. Basically, all these items use informal entry because they're low value, personal, or legally exempted. So, we're now in documents required for informal entry based on CAO 2 2021. These documents are very important because they are what we need to clear shipments like personal items, balikbayan boxes, and goods valued below 50,000 pesos. Having them ready ensures we follow customs rules, avoid extra charges or penalties, speed up the release of goods, and clearly shows that items are for personal use and not for business. We need these documents for commercial goods worth less than 50,000 pesos and for personal or household items that are not in bulk or meant for resales. They are also required for tax and duty-free goods under Section 800 of CMTA such as belongings of returning residents and OFWs, balikbayan boxes, travelers' personal things, items of foreign government staff, tools and belongings of settlers or professionals, goods for diplomatic use, human remains and deceased belonging if worth below 150,000 pesos, and item belonging to the FA personnel. Aside from that, they apply to other Section 800 imports under 50,000 pesos, diplomatic supplies sold to regular buyers, goods from registered BIMP EAGA business, products from PISA zones entering the local markets, items under the Balik Science Program, and all importance covered under Section 800 of CMTA. Basically, all the shipments must submit these documents so they can be processed legally, smoothly, and under informal entry. Now we're in general checklist for informal entry process. This is exactly what importers or customs brokers needs to follow. First step, prepare all required documents correctly. Follow customs rules and regulations. Second, classify your goods properly. Calculate the correct duties and taxes. Then lodge the entry via A2M, E2M, or VASP system and print the SAD, which is the single administrative documents, or if these are personal effects, fill out BC Form 177 instead. Third, upload the SAD or IIDE together with all supporting documents to the official BOC portal. Last, submit the original or hard copies of all documents within 3 days after you submitted them online. That's the complete step-by-step process to make sure your informal entry is processed smoothly and legally. We're now in the process flow and grounds for physical examination. First, for the process flow. The same rules used for online filling of goods declaration under formal entry also apply here, but handled by informal entry division for POM or MICP ports, or the assessment division equivalent unit for all other ports, so the online system and steps are similar, just processed by different units. Now let's move to when physical inspection happens. Customs will physically check your goods only under these 7 situations. First, the system automatically selects your shipments for inspection. Second, there's an alert order issued by authorities. Third, even if it was only for document check, the problems or doubts came up about your declaration or clearance. Fourth, the Customs Commissioner orders it in writing based on reports or warnings. These threats are the shipments as alerted. Fifth, you, the importer or declarant, request to have the goods inspected. 6. After x-ray or scanning, the results look suspicious or irregular, so they need to check physically. And last, 7 is goods are cleared at an off-deck facility and there's no x-ray machine available there. So in short, inspection isn't always done. It is only happens for system selection, alert, issues, official orders, your request, suspicious scans, or lack of scanning equipment. Now we're in the types of examination under informal entry. There are 3 main rules here. First, for commercial goods worth below 50,000 pesos, move off dock, warehouse, or under KO rules, physical inspection is required, unless there's an x-ray machine available. Also, all containerized cargo must go through x-ray before assessment and payment. We only do physical check later if something looks suspicious. So next is any goods going through airport warehouses or composite warehouses, mandatory x-ray inspection, no exception. So third, diplomatic baggage is usually exempted from inspection. We only check it if there's strong reason to believe it contains non-exempt, prohibited, or regulated items. And if we do inspect, it must be done in front of their authorized representative or agents. So, to sum up, commercial and airports goods get strict checks, while diplomatic items are mostly exempt unless there's a valid concern. Assessment of goods declaration for consumption under informal entry. First, quick note. All goods under informal entry are assessed, meaning duties and taxes are computed, strictly following existing customs laws and regulation. Now let's talk about payment procedures. All duties, taxes, and fees must be paid in cash, either through authorized agent bank, the Bureau's in-house bank, or directly to the collection division. For sea shipments, you present the order of payment to the in-house bank. Pay via the E2M system. The bank will issue BCOR, which is Bank Confirmation or of Receipt, with an ECRN number. You keep the original and green copies as proof. For air shipments, you present the order of payment directly to the BOC cashier. They will issue you the BCOR right there as your official proof of payment. Once paid, Custom will sign and issue your gate pass, BC Form 201. They will forward this, together with your BCOR, to the Informal Entry Division or assigned unit for final signature by COO the 3rd and COO 5th. Once signed, you can finally take delivery of your goods.
Release of shipments. Upon payment confirmation, BOC electronically transmits release instructions to the terminal operator or of DAC CFW. Pending full automation, COOV verifies payment in the system, stamps payment verified on BCOR copies, and forwards them to Chief IED or equivalent. The Chief performs manual discharge in the e-manifest system by encoding the required data. A. Consignee's TIN. B. Consignee's name. C. Broker's TIN. D. Broker's name. E. Registration serial value is always I. F. Registration number. IIDE entry number. G. Registration data month, day, year. H. Transit shed code. I. Reference year. J. Declaration Office code. K. Commodity code. Release of goods. 1. If CFCL A. Secure delivery order from shipping lines. B. Pay arrastre and wharfage fees. C. Book container via tabs for MICP or POM. D. Present gate pass to BOC Wharfinger for signature, POM only. 2. If CLCL and air shipments. A. Present DO RO from freight forwarder for CLCL only. B. Pay storage charges. C. Proceed to Wharfinger's office for final release. De minimis importation. Rules on de minimis importation. CAO 2, 2016, CMO 28, 2016. General provisions. 1. lodged and processed under a simplified ICT system for advanced clearance and monitoring. 2. Subject to non-intrusive examination, example X-ray, on a random basis. 3. Physical inspection may be conducted based on risk management principles. 4. Treatment without prejudice to Section 800 of CMTA on conditionally free importations. 5. Tobacco, wines, and spirits and generally subject to excise taxes. Other salient provisions. 1. Goods exceeding de minimis value are dutiable and taxable for the full amount. 2. Covers all importations for consumption via all modes of transport. 3. Allowable limits from duty-free Philippines are exempt. Excise goods exceeding limits are subject to excise tax regardless of value. 4. Air express shipments are subject to X-ray scanning per regulations. 5. Books within de minimis value are exempt from duties and taxes regardless of quantity. 6. Shipments under 1 MBL MAWB with same shipper and consignee are treated as one, taxed if total value exceeds limit. Form and declarant on goods declaration for de minimis value. 1. Air express consignments lodged by operator via accredited VASP in E2M cleared under informal entry. 2. Consolidated shipments lodged by importer, consignee, or authorized freight forwarder cleared under informal entry. 3. Postal consignments cleared under simplified procedure. 4. Onboard courier shipments released under existing procedures. 5. Other air cargo lodged by consignee via accredited VASP in E2M cleared under informal entry. Common procedures. The declared value is generally accepted. However, if doubted, the following steps shall be observed. 1. Inform the party of the basis for doubt and seek explanation. 2. Accept value if satisfied. Otherwise, require submission of proof. 3. May accept or reject proof with written reasons. 4. If proof is not submitted, assess based on customs valuation rules.
Exclusions on immediate release of de minimis importations. So these are the items that cannot be released right away, even if their value is low or under 50,000 pesos or de minimis. The first one is goods marked no commercial value or for customs use only. 2 is too much tobacco or alcohol. Even if the value is low, it is not released quickly if the amount exceeds to the allowed limits. Next is regulated items. Things needing special permits like medicines, food, or chemicals, unless for personal use and within allowed quantity. 4 is banned or restricted goods. Items you cannot bring in or need special permission first. Next is goods for special purposes. Items stored in warehouses, passing through only, or going to free trade zones. So in short, even low value items get delayed release if they fall into these cases.